I've started multiple habits in 2023, yet these were the ones that stuck and actually helped me in becoming a better version of myself. The habits that I want to continue going on from now. Number 1, making tahajjud and istihara my go-tos. Before I ask other people for their opinion, before I make a decision, before I tell anyone about something important, before I vent, I make sure that I have entrusted my Lord first and asked Him for His guidance. He's my go-to and anchor before anyone else, and that's so soothing. Number 2, having a field note journal with me, in particular 3 to 4. I have tons of ideas, and sometimes randomly in the midst of commuting, being in a bathroom or cooking, an idea pops in my head that I would follow and create a nice script to, poem or whatever, yet in the past I thought, yeah, I will write this down later, only to forget it and not be able to retrieve this information anymore. So I bought 2 field notes journal, one for morning pages, like any brain dumps necessary, and one for ideas for video, for a poem, a newsletter, anything. It's so powerful. Don't underestimate writing it down immediately. That's where my best ideas come from. The other 2 are for passwords, and the last one for numbers and addresses. The reason why I have it and encourage everyone to have it is that I lost my phone last year and I lost access to many accounts, including my emails. I couldn't call the people needed because guess what? I didn't remember the number. It was a freaky week, yet I managed to get the most important contact and figure things out. Don't be like me, it was a hard lesson learned, so after this video, please write down the most important information. Number 3, defining the 4 essential routines. Sunday reset routine, get stuff routine, on my period routine, low iman phase routine. The first one is there to reset after a vibrant week. This is where I will meal prep, clean, create my upcoming weekly schedule, tasks and goals, and lastly relax and chill. The get stuff done routine is there to finish all undone businesses, tasks, deadlines that you have been putting off for weeks. This could also include important adulting stuff. Use maximum 3 hours to be in a deep focus and get all stuff done before doing anything else. For me, this occurs on Saturdays or Sundays. On my period routine, I already made a video about keeping up your bottle while on your period. This is so crucial as I usually fall off when on my period. To prevent that, I needed to create a routine that I will do on my menses to not lose that connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala once a month. Go check out that video. Now, the low iman phase is something everyone will experience in life from time to time. Similar to the previous routine, it's there to prevent major disconnects to my Lord with the energy I have. This is a time where my spiritual battery is low and needs to be charged. In my upcoming podcast episode, I will dive deeper into this routine, inshallah. Number 4, breathing. This one is so underrated yet helpful. I have learned to manage my emotions and reactions with breathing. Don't react or answer, first breathe. Whether it's anxiety, stress, anger, urges, if you just take a moment to breathe, it will soothe your nervous system. There are different kinds of breathing techniques. I start the day off by doing some breathing with tide. Then I also do the 4-7-8 breathing, which is 4 breaths in, hold for 7 seconds and release for 8. And believe me, it's not easy, especially exhaling. Or the 4-4-8 when you're stressed or nervous. Reading the book All My Rage reminded me how important breathing is. The main character suffers from an illness and frequently breathes to calm himself down. Really underrated. Might do a podcast episode on that as well. Number 5, positive self-talk. Treating and speaking to myself as I would with a younger child. I have a picture of my younger self with me in my gallery to look at and remember to be kind. I would speak kindly to a young child, so why do I treat myself so badly or speak poorly? I used to do it, yet alhamdulillah, not anymore. The way you speak to yourself will echo to others and also to Allah. Number 6, time tracking with Act Timer. Do you even know how much time you spend on certain activities? How do you expect to manage your time or schedule things when you don't even know how much it takes? This was essential for me because I realized that some tasks take longer for me than I expected, whereas others were done in a breeze. Additionally, this is my best productivity tool. Once it's on, I have to work and can't do anything else except urgent loo and water breaks. Number 7, finances. finance tracking. The same goes for finances. Do you sometimes ever look at your purse or bank account and wonder where all the money went? Well, I used to and be surprised, but I never tracked what I bought, how much it cost, and what was really important to buy. I'm using a template on Notion to track all my spendings. Every time I buy something, I keep the receipt, write down which category it is, and then discard it. That way I can have control over my finances, reach my financial goals, as well as know where to cut back if needed. Once you become good at it, you will wonder how much you can save actually. Reading during commutes and mornings. I have two different kind of readings. The heavy and annotated reads will be dedicated for the morning when I sit on my desk and have time to think clearly, focus, and annotate my findings. Whereas the leisure read, the book that I'm currently reading, will be in my bags and ready for commutal reading. I aim to not use my phone as much when I'm out and about. Another thing I do to curb my reading hunger is to mark the books with post-its to know how much I will have to read in a day, to complete the book in a week or latest 2, and it really helps. Number 10, moving your body daily. You don't have to go to the gym 4 times a week to get movement in. This could also be a 30-minute stroll, walking anywhere instead of taking the bus and reaching your 10,000 steps, or taking the stair instead of the escalator. Number 11, having a sunlight clock at your door. 2 things happen here. The sunlight clock starts lighting up slowly 30 minutes prior to the alarm and naturally lightens your room and adjust yourself to waking up. Instead of squinting as it's going from 0 to 100 from dark to light, it's slowly getting lighter. It also uses natural sounds to wake you up. Mine are chirping birds, and since it's at the door far from my bed, I have to wake up, and once I'm awake, I might as well go to the bathroom and do wudu and get stuff done. Oh yeah, and don't snooze, otherwise you will lose. Number 12, the morning glory. Once I'm awake, I like to get started with a deep focus session and get stuff done. Mostly one of my MITs, and then I ooze into the morning glory. It's something I look forward to the upcoming day. This can be anything from painting to reading to watching a show, etc. You can define this in the previous night. For me today, it was reading as I'm close to the end and too many turning points happened. I need to know the end. It helps me on days I am more grumpy than usual, and it generally lifts my mood to be excited for the day and then treat it off after the deep focus and prioritized session. Number 13, the closing shift and morning setup. I clean my room as if I was the closing shift in a restaurant. Everything has to be cleaned and set up for the morning shift, aka morning me. That means for me tidying my desk, my shelf, my clothes, packing my bag for the next day, having my meal prepped and my MITs out on, as well as opening the first tab that I will use when I get started. Number 14, gratitude journal. It's proven that people who are grateful will have a more fulfilled life. It's easy to see all the wrong things and hardships in life or in life in general. That's why I find gratitude journaling so effective. It trains your brain to see the positive and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for your blessing. Number 15, posture. And I had to fix my posture right when I saw it. Unless you want to end up like the hunchman, you better sit up straight. I forget that often and crouch way too much during sitting, praying. So this is a constant reminder for me, and it's necessary. Number 16, the 2-minute rule. I got that from Mel Robbins. If the task doesn't take longer than 2 minutes, do it immediately, otherwise schedule it in. Number 17, task batching. If your tasks are not manageable in 2 minutes, I would advise to batch them together according to categories. Put together the important batches, cleaning, studying, work, etc. in one big batch instead of doing everything widely spread across the week. This actually kills more of your time than putting it together and doing one section first before the next. Example, cleaning your room and bathroom together instead of one time the room and then you do some other stuff and then another day the bathroom. Number 18, drinking a gallon of water daily. This is so difficult to me. As an ex-chronic dehydrating person, it is a shackle. I decided in my teen years not to drink much water to avoid using the loo too often. When I became closer to my deen, I then wanted to avoid breaking my wudu, especially outside, yet it led to me getting headaches and being extremely dehydrated. Our body needs water, and instead of drinking juice or coffee, etc., I drink water. I barely drank water so now it's something I do more than any other beverage. I still haven't managed to avoid crisis, yet one step at a time, and drink a bit after waking up and before and after eating. Number 19, eating mindfully. This is also another hard one. That means eating without distraction, which can be TV, my phone, laptop, anything really that distracts me. This goes especially when you're alone. Recently, I went to the cinema to watch a movie and realized again how I wasn't aware of what I ate. I just kept filling my stomach and then was still hungry. That's the problem. Your brain doesn't register that you're eating because you're simultaneously watching and it can't multitask. When you eat and watch, you tend to eat faster in bigger bites with poor food choices, so more junk food than healthy, and it often leads to indigestion, lack of quality time. So I'm making it a habit to eat and then watch and being mindful and thankful for the food I have, and also eating sweets after your proper meal. As I was younger, I did it the other way around. I would eat sweets and then the actual meal, and this is so unhealthy itself. Now I actually don't eat processed sugar anymore, yet if I do crave natural sugar from sweets, from fruits, dates, or something similar, I'll make sure to eat after a nutritious meal and not prior. That way you don't overfill yourself and indulge. Number 20, the Azkar. Having a list of go-to Azkar and zikrs. Not only using them sporadically or when you are in need or in hardship, but actually every time in your life. Did you know there's a dua for going out or getting your clothes? If you don't, check it out. There's so many to use and it really enhances my life. Number 21, the wish and wait list. Sometimes you want to send this message or buy this item, and before I do that, I have to put it on my wait list or wish list on my Notion. For items to buy, I have to put it on my digital card wish list, write down the price and assign the urgency and wait for 30 days before buying it. Unless it's super urgent, which 90% of the time it isn't. When it comes to things I want to say, I write it down on the wait list, get it out of my head and reflect whether it needs to be said. If I do think it's necessary, I go ahead after 3 days. I also encourage praying istihara for little things and not only major decisions, and it definitely helped me in becoming less impulsive. Number 22, set bed and waking up times. Have set bed and waking up times. The reason why I managed to get up for tahajjud is because I have set bed and waking up times, and it is advised not to change them even if on break. On weekends or vacation, it makes sense to sleep in due to work or uni just being tiring or just to take a break. Yet it takes your balance out. Your body functions best if it has a consistent time. It allows your internal circadian rhythm to operate more efficiently, help you to fall asleep faster and stay asleep. It will even lead to your body waking up naturally, even if the alarm would be off on time. It actually happened to me. I sometimes naturally wake up. Number 23, getting dressed even if you only work from home. It changes the entire vibe and gives the work more seriousness and a better performance. Plus, you would do it anyway if you would go out. For me, it helps me to prioritize and not stay crusty as I don't get ready for work or others, but for myself. It changes my vibe entirely. And last but not least, number 24, the 5-minute rule. The 5-minute rule is something I use when I don't feel like doing anything. Just 5 minutes in. If you don't like it, then stop. Usually, it helps me in getting started and then I fall into the task. Yet if I am really not feeling it, I can stop yet after 5 minutes. This is also a rule I use to learn something new every day. Just 5 minutes, and it usually leads to me hanging in there and watching or learning the things and making progress. These are the 24 habits that I am establishing in 2024 that I started in 2023 and which are like game changing. Let me know which habits you implemented that are changing your life. Jazakallah khairan for coming this far, and see you in my next video, inshallah.